And Peter, unmute yourself. Thank you.
Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are across the country and around the world. Big welcome to our Patching Podcast training. Today is Saturday, January 21st. We are in our third Saturday of the month. I don't know where time is going, but the only thing I do know, we are reversing our time. So big welcome, everyone. My name is Peter No, Senior Presidential Director here with LifeWave. I have my beautiful co-host, my partner in crime, Miss Marci Preble. How are you this morning?
I am good. I'm so excited about Saturday and even more excited about flying to Florida next week. We're all going to Florida.
Well, I think all our Floridian partners is excited. I think all the guests are ready to come and see David Schmidt there. And for all our workout buddies here, it is a great way to start off our year. And just know that our entire organization, from Marci down, we are literally planning every event for 2023. We're doing it together now. So don't worry if you don't see us in Florida. We're going to be in a state near you this year. So,
and just so you know, our next event after Florida, so put it on your in your notes, we will be in Arizona next. So we're all going to Arizona next, and we'll get the dates soon.
Okay. When are you coming to Washington? Very soon. So everyone, this is our third week. We will be covering a little bit of the 333 today. We will have live role play today. We will be going over the compensation plan today. So if you have, for our brand new workout buddy, if this is the very first time that you are on this call, big kudos to you. Big welcome to the gym. And as you know, we do this every single week, every single month. It is rinse and repeat. So if you don't catch anything today, make sure you watch the recording. And without further ado, Marci, I'm going to pass it on to you to start our training for this Saturday.
Absolutely. So it's pretty special. Peter and I are going to quickly, in 3 minutes, go over our system. Then we're going to move it to Presidential Director Laura Balzer. She's going to give 15 minutes training for us, and then over to Bob Campbell. And then Peter will come back and do 15 minutes of compensation plan. And then at the end, I'll show you how that looks in the back office. So it's going to be a full day. I would recommend you get your notebook and your pen and take notes. So our system, and Peter, if you could let people in, or Jan, that'd be great. Our system is pretty simple. Let's see how many of you can memorize this as I say it. Okay? 3, 3, 3. Ask, share, give. What does the first 3 mean? We patch 3 people a day. We follow up with 3 people a day. And we invite, as Dr. Stacy says, 3 people a day to our patching podcast. That is the secret sauce. Real people with real testimonials. We need to be sending people to the podcast because that is what closes people, the podcast. So when we patch 3 a day, we ask a question. We share a quick testimonial about ourselves, short, 30 seconds to a minute. We share a link. We like startx39now.com. If you haven't gone and looked at that site, please do. It's our educational site. And then we have a choice to give some different things. We can give a patching podcast link. We can give wholesale pricing. We can give a gift. The give allows you to give what you think is best at the time for the person and your business. So Peter, let's go back to ask, share, give. When we say ask, you talk about ask as being something called the piquing interest. What is piquing interest, and what is an ask as it relates to piquing the interest?
Oh, perfect question. And the reason why when you say ask, everyone, we are an open field, meaning that you want to ask them a question, what will pique their interest? So for example, I like to ask people, what have you heard about stem cells? What have you heard, right? If you ask that question, and if that piques their interest, meaning that they've heard what stem cells are, they heard that their parents, their mom, their dad, or somebody went through a stem cell injection or a process, if that piques their interest, you've opened the door, okay? So the first one we like to teach you is just ask 3 people a day to pique their interest. So for example, Marci, if I ask you, what have you heard about tires? Does the word tires pique your interest, Marci?
No,
So if you don't like, if that doesn't pique your interest, do I need to share with you any more information about tires?
no.
Okay, everybody understood that, right? Now, if I ask Marci, hey, Marci, how's your health? What's going on? Da, 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 da. But what have you heard about stem cells, Marci?
Wow, I just read the book about Tony Robbins and it sounds like it's very expensive, but it repaired his shoulder.
Oh, the whole future is going towards regeneration and repair. I'm glad you saw it through Anthony Robbins. Hey, what if I can told you I finally found a technology that can turn on your own stem cells today, your own. Would you be open to learn more about that?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me share with you a website. And Marci, what's been going on with your health? What challenges are you seeing? What's going on with you now?
Well, I'm recovering from breast cancer and I would love for you to share the website. What
Hey,
website would that be?
well, it is called startx39.com, now.com.
Startx39now.com. Can we say that one more time for people so they can write it down?
So let me share with you the website. It's called startx39now.com. When you look at that website, Marci, I just navigate, watch a few of the videos. If the information resonates with you more, check out the patents, check out the testimonials, check out the expectation, what you're going to see after using it for a month,
And
3
Peter,
months,
let
and
me
6
stop you
months.
for a moment. When you send me to startx39now.com, what are you actually doing? What does pre-qualifying mean?
So when we share, once we pique your interest, we want to pre-qualify you, meaning that you're using tools now, everyone. The less you say, the more you share our tools. What are our tools? We have 2 tools to pre-qualify if the person would like to order or if the person would like to receive a gift.
So let me go there. So the pre-qualifying site is startx39now.com. And if you had me go look at the first video, which is 1 minute on light, and the second video, which is 3 minutes on stem cells, that would be enough to pre-qualify me to see if I'm interested in receiving a link to a podcast or a gift or even buying wholesale right in the moment. Is that what pre-qualify means, Peter?
Yes, because we are a pre-qualifying team. So a professional networker learns how to pique interest, pre-qualify using tools.
Okay, so let me stop for a minute on that. So using tools. So to pique interest, we use the ask. Is that correct?
Correct.
And to pre-qualify, we use startx39now.com. Is that correct?
Correct.
And those are both a form of a tool?
Correct. And we also have another tool to pre-qualify. The reason why I asked Marci, hey, Marci, what's going on with you these days? She told me she's recovering from cancer. Some people might have arthritis, shoulder pains, hair loss. So what I like to do is, hey, Marci, if you go through the website, can I send you a 30-minute podcast or a Zoom that can relate to your issues that you're experiencing today?
Ooh, I love that. So you're saying that the first three is the ask. I'm just wanting to make sure I understand, which is the peak. The second three is the share, which is a pre-qualify. And the third one would be give. And one of the gives that we could give is a podcast based on what's going on with me. That's another way you could pre-qualify me. Am I understanding that right?
You're totally in the flow. It's just a way on how, if you can practice this, asking, sharing, and giving. And the last is the giving a podcast out, giving your website out, your link out, or even giving a gift, or even giving away on how do people order wholesale. What we want everyone to see is just, you're gonna learn how to flow in your dance. We're just giving you the structure, which is asking to pique their interest, sharing to pre-qualifying, and giving to guide them to the next step. Okay.
I love that. The giving is the guide to the next step. And I want everyone to understand that a big guide, a big step is what Dr. Stacy says, the secret sauce. Our patching podcast. We should be guiding people every night to the patching podcast. Did you know that we have over 300 people every night of the week, real people, real testimonials? You can't make this stuff up, and people are interested. Peter?
So I would love everyone just to know how how long should these 3 steps take? Jenny, it could take as fast as 5 minutes. It could take as long as 20 minutes. We want you to have a connection. What we're teaching you now is just when you pique interest, you're opening up a door for conversation, everyone. Always be you. I am Peter. Laura's Laura. Michelle is Michelle. Don't ever change the way how you talk to your friends, your family. We're teaching you how to have guidance, okay? So when you go through this step, asking, peaking, pre-qualifying, sharing, those are the 2 steps you're going to be in all the time to open up your conversation, to bring value to your prospects. Then let the podcast bring them into our community. Does that make sense, everyone?
It's wonderful, Peter. Yep.
The podcast is your friend. The podcast is your business partner. The podcast is your 3-way. The podcast is your infomercial. If we can all get really good at inviting 1, 2, or possibly 3 people that you pique their interest every day, that is how you're going to build duplication. And that is what we have done here for the last 3 years. And that's why we're growing the way we are.
And Peter, I think what you said, this is a great bridge. What's going on with you? We ask that all the time. You can ask that anywhere in the dance. You can ask that more than 1, 2, or 3 times because people want to share what's going on with them. And it's through listening and writing that down that you invite them to a podcast or send a recording of their issue, both actually. And you can go to startx39biz.com under the 14 steps under tab 5, join Telegram. And we have the Be Activating testimonial link. You just click on there to join. And guess what? We have over 3 years of testimonials. Peter, let's move it to Laura now because we are at 10:15 and I would like some training from Laura now.
One last one though. Before I give a gift, before I show people how to order wholesale, I make sure they watch a podcast, everyone. If you can practice that, that will be your ultimate value, your ultimate pre-qualifier. And we're going to talk about that more during our training.
And I love that, Peter. So there's 2 ways to pre-qualify. StartX39now.com and send them to a podcast, then gift, then share wholesale, right? That
Yes.
I love that. You get a double pre-qualification so you don't waste your money.
And time.
And time. Let's go to Laura. Let me say who Laura is. Laura is a presidential director from Florida. She's building a huge team, and she is an expert at the art of network marketing. So she's going to take the next 15 minutes and give us all some great tips, some great training. And so once again, have your notebooks ready. I have mine.
Oh, awesome. I love this. Thank you for having me. This is great. Marci, you and I jumped on the phone after last week's and our minds just started going. So if I skip something that you and I chatted about, keep me on course. But, you know, I'm going to piggyback off of one thing Peter said, which was value. You know, bringing value to people, you guys, is the thing that we do. Like, we're changing the trajectory of their life. You know, we're giving them the ability to live a life maybe they feel has been stricken from them. And so if you really hold that, it's amazing how you don't feel uncomfortable asking the questions that Peter's talking about. But one of the things that I feel that is really helpful, especially for the new person, is stop selling. We're not selling a product, okay? We're just not selling. But what we need to do is stop selling and start listening. Because when we listen and people feel like they've been heard, you can guide them in any direction like Peter was speaking of, and they're going to do it because they felt like you have heard them. And a lot of people go through their daily life and feel like they're not being heard, whether it's from their spouse or their friend or their coworker or their boss. It's really important to listen to what they have going on. You know, I only share my attraction to the patch after they have shared, and I've just let them go. I don't interrupt them. I just let them go, because they might be in that place of just getting it off their chest takes them to the next level of, I'm ready to do something about this. I've tried everything. And like Marci said, we might not have to even send them to those places because you've listened, you've shared your personal, hey, this is why I became attracted to this technology. And then you ask them, what do you think? What are your thoughts? So let's stop selling. Let's start listening would probably be like one of the biggest things, because it not only helps them. Okay, our first responsibility is the client. Our second responsibility is our business. And when we make them feel heard and they do decide to begin with us, the retention that you'll have in your business is much longer than having somebody just use the product for 1 or 2 months, or maybe just a month. And, you know, Marci, you and I talked about the power of assumption or the power of suggestion. You know, if you guys were on last week and Stacy was talking, she said something, and I wasn't sure if anybody really picked up on it, was drop me your address and I'll send you some samples. If you notice, Stacy didn't say, hey, do you mind if I send you some samples? The power of suggestion is huge here, you guys. Oh, she wants to send me something. I mean, they'll drop that address in a heartbeat if they think they're getting a surprise in the mail, right? Sometimes my clients do not know what's happening. I'm very big on going on my Facebook page and seeing the birthdays. And I don't care if I haven't talked to them in 15 years or I just talked to them yesterday. I will say to them, oh my gosh, happy birthday. I forgot it was your birthday. How are you? What's going on? We haven't talked in 15 years. Oh, I'm great. That's fabulous. Well, I said, you know what? Drop me your address. I want to send you a little something in the mail. Y'all, that's all I say. And in go the samples of the 5 X39s. I send a little information in there. I put a little cute cover level, you know, happy birthday again. Da, 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 da. And when they get that, they're very receiving of it in the manner in which it came. It didn't matter that I hadn't talked to them in 15 years. They don't care. They're like, what is this? Is this what you're doing? I know you went through a health scare.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
I see that you did that with the birthday.
Yeah.
And I see that you dropped them a gift.
Yeah.
How do you move them from dropping a gift to like creating interest in what this is? Like, how do you move? Because you're moving gift to podcast, I would think. You know what I'm saying?
Honestly, I'm not moving gift to podcast.
What do you do?
I, depending on the conversation that I'm having with the person is whether I move them to a podcast. Because
Okay.
in my little cover letter, I'll say, now listen, the minute you get them, let me know. Because I just let me know. I'll write it in my little note. And they all text me, oh my God, Laura, I don't know what this is, but I just got it. And so I go over a little bit of the science and the technology with them. And I'll say something like, I don't know what's been going on in your life, health-wise, or if you have any goals for the year. I let them go, let them talk about their things, right? And then, Marci, depending on the conversation, I'll say, you know what? We just interviewed a girl. And y'all, I'm going to be honest, we might not have just interviewed her, but this is what I say. We just interviewed a girl that had the same issues. Do you mind if I send you her interview? I think you'd get a lot out of it. And they're like, oh, no, that's fine, send it. But I also say to them is, I want to be super honest. I have no idea what this is going to do for you in 5 days. Probably nothing. And I love that about this business, you guys. I love the honesty of being able to say that I'm clueless. I have no idea what this is going to do for you. But what it will do is get you in the habit of using it 12 hours on, 12 hours off, you know, getting used to drinking maybe a little bit more water. And then after your 5 days, girl, I'm going to go 60, 90 days with you. I really, really want you to take it for a test run. Right now, you're just getting used to it, right? You're just getting introduced to it a little bit. And so between that, maybe sending them a podcast that's directly related to the issues that they've shared with me, I close them out. I get them started after those 5 days, but I don't wait for 5 days. I'll call them like on the 4th day. How are you doing? Oh my God, Laura, I'm sleeping like I haven't slept before in my life. Oh my God. Well, you're like my husband. It wasn't me. I didn't feel anything for 6 weeks. So now they're special. Now they think they're special. They're really getting that result. So I just close them out, you guys, and sign them up with the silver or gold or whatever they want.
Can I ask you something? Because you're talking about Facebook. Haven't seen them for 15 years. Happy birthday! I'm shooting you a gift. Text me your address.
Yep.
And they do. Hey, and this is all voice memo or
voice. Y'all, I hate texting. It takes me too long. I voice clip everything. If you know me and work with me on the daily basis, you're getting voice clips.
Okay, so let me backtrack this a little bit. So you're voice clipping them. Hey, happy birthday! It's been 15 years.
Yep.
I got a little something for you. Shoot me your address, and they'll probably message you back the address. Would be my guess.
They do. Yep.
But then you say something. You voice memo them again. Hey, when you get the gift, let me know. And they let you know because you've directed them.
Because I've directed them. The power of suggestion, you guys, is huge. I'm already talking to them about their next order coming in the mail before they've even considered even getting a sample. The power of suggestion, people get excited about that. People.
So let me go again. So you're basically saying like, it's coming in the mail. Let me know when you get it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you may feel something, you may not, you probably won't. It's a habit, but boy, the 60, 90-day reset. So in your voice memo, you are suggesting.
I am.
So when you say to them, you know, they text you back and say they got it. And you say, well, what's going on with you? That's a voice memo as well. Are you still not talking to them? You're still voice memoing them.
I'm clipping. Right? I'm voice clipping all the time.
Okay. And then they start typing what's going on with them right in the messenger. Yep.
Or they'll try to voice clip me and they'll go, oh my God, I've never used this before. This is amazing. Like, oh my God. Like, you know, it's just, it's more personal, you guys, than texting. I think one problem with texting now is there's so many scams going around that people are scared to death to answer a text. But if they hear my voice, I mean, like a lot of times I have texted people and I haven't heard back from them. So I'll voice clip them 2 weeks later and go, hey, listen, I just wanted to let you know that text you got a couple weeks ago was from me. And it dawned on me, you might have thought it was a scam. And immediately they have written back, you know what, Laura, I did. And that's why I didn't answer.
Wow. So in this voice, so they get the energy and the voice of you, but it sounds like it's very efficient and you're not really attached because you're just like going through your messenger voice
Yeah.
clipping people. Is that
Yep.
correct? So you don't
That's
have any
correct.
of that
That
attachment.
is correct. Yeah.
So when you send them, so then you say what's going on with you and they say, and that's when you grab a testimonial from the Telegram and send it specific to their issue.
It's specific to their issue, IBS, arthritis, MS, whatever. Because you know what, guys, that let our tools talk for you. Like, we want to spend time with our people. We want to get to know them. Like I said, bring them value. You can only talk so much to one person. And Marci and Peter have developed incredible tools that do a lot of talking for us. So even if you're new on here today, you don't have to know anything about anything because of the amazing tools that have been developed for us. You know, the first person I called about this product after I heard David speak, this was my message to her. It was a voice clip. I said, Alicia, it's Laura. I said, listen, I said, I just listened to this man talk. I don't know much, but I think you need this. That's all I said. I can't imagine had I not called her, because she is now probably a very low percentage away from entering remission, and she had a cancer that was incurable. So don't be afraid to talk to somebody because you're not sure what to say. You have an upline that can help. You know, we do a lot of three-way messages with people saying, hey, this is Laura. You know, I know she's really going to be able to help you. And I'm going to learn a lot from listening to her help you.
I have a question on that.
Yeah.
In Messenger, and I'm a novice at some of this. I just am, you know, I'm a texter and a talker, but I'm learning voice memo. So I'm a senior presidential director, just learning voice memo too. So don't think that there's anything weird here. We're all just figuring out the different methods of communicating. So on Messenger, can you actually do a three-way where I put you, me, and like Peter in together and we're all voice memoing together?
Absolutely. Maybe we should do that.
Can we have a training on that on the next training?
Yeah.
Call
Yeah, it's so simple and it's so creative and it's so fun, right? And if you do have that person that does get started on the patches and they have incredible result, because they will, but they happen to turn into that person that just can't keep their mouth shut about it, now there's your builder. There is your builder. And if I could suggest one thing to you guys, another thing I love about what Peter and Marci have put together and just LifeWave all around is we don't talk business. We let that unfold. Don't, if somebody says to you, oh my God, I've got so many people that would want to use this. Your response should not be, oh my God, you should do the business with me. Your response should be, awesome, let's help them. And then walk them into the business. Laura, I'm not in it. I don't want to do it. I'll send you referrals. Fantastic. Or they're like, oh, you can make money at this? Oh, I had no idea. Well, the 4 people that you just referred to me, you just made $200 in referral fees. I don't know if you want that money or not, but I'm just letting you know it's sitting there. It is? I go, yeah, because I sent you 4 people. Yeah. See, I don't keep those people for myself, you guys. I take those people and I put them under their friend because they're their friend. But I've also just built a manager. And I'm not worried about the PIB. I just want to help people. And if this person decides to go with me and lock arms, I think that's a beautiful thing. If not, regardless of where those people go, I'm going to be taking care of them anyway. So why not build a manager and then go build another manager? Right. So that's probably another Zoom, but
We're gonna have an hour with Laura. Why don't we do an hour on our first Saturday of really how to
Yeah.
we'll do a how to use voice memo.
Yeah.
Maybe you can do a whole share screen
Sure.
and all of that on your phone and what that, you know what I mean? We'll
Yeah.
talk about that. It sounds like everybody wants that. They think this is really, they think you're cool, Miss President.
Oh my gosh. Thanks, guys. You know what? It's fun. Have fun. You know, I did a Zoom the other night with our team and I said, nobody should be going to bed feeling like they want to throw themselves on the floor if they're doing this business. When you crawl in bed at night, you should feel complete and utter joy. If you've done the things that Marci and Peter teach, the 3-3-3 or 30-30-10 or 300-300, 100, whatever your gig is, right? Do you, right? Don't cheat yourself. Don't give yourself a way out. Don't wear the busy badge like an honor, okay? But when you go to bed at night, you should put your head on that pillow knowing that you did everything you could that day. If you didn't, don't beat yourself up about it. Just fix it the next day. It's okay. We're all learning and growing. Just because people on here that are senior presidential directors, we're still learning. We learn from each other every single day. Here we are right here doing it right now. So I find the joy, listen to people, create relationships and friendships, because, you know, you just might meet somebody that turns into one of your besties. I don't know.
You know, I want to tell you, Laura, that you heard Peter and the way he utilizes the system. You heard Laura and the way she utilized the system. The key is 3-3-3, ask, share, give, and you can dance in that system in the way that works best for you. But I will tell you, the common theme is the peaking question, the what's going on with you, the sending a testimonial or inviting to a testimonial. The key is listening to what's going on with them and getting the information, being of service to what they need. I hear so much of the similar way in which the business is run. Go ahead, Laura.
No, and you made me think of something, and I wrote it down to remember to say it is, you know, you guys, when you're practicing the system, there is various ways to dance through it. And one of them is in the follow-up part of that. Do you know you could do follow-up and invite to a podcast and hit two birds with one stone? The follow-up is inviting them to a podcast. They haven't yet jumped on board. They're very unsure. And you could say, hey, we're having a girl on tonight that has similar issues than you. Why don't you jump on the podcast? If you want to jump on, let me know, and then I'll send you the information. I never just send the information because I want them to have to ask me for it, because now I know they're going to come on, and I've just opened the door for follow-up, another follow-up. They always know I'm coming back around. I set them up for it. Hey, take a look at that podcast. I'll check back in with you in a couple days. You can let me know what you think. So I've already put them on notice. I'm not going anywhere. And one thing I said to Marci, I'm going to leave it here because I know Bob's got a lot of great stuff to share. Y'all are going to laugh at this, but it's just me. People are on my lists, okay, until they become a client. If they switch over to a bodybuilder with me, as Peter would say, or they take a restraining order out on me because I'm calling them too much. I am never going to stop following up for them. And even if they share with me, please don't call me anymore. They go on like a 6-month list. Hey, just want to say hi. Wonder how that back pain's going. If they're still suffering with back pain 6 months later, more likely I'm going to get them.
Laura,
right?
Can you put that list up? I see it's highlighted. What's that? Just give us a little to do. Like, This is, so network marketers are about making lists and working lists. That would all
Yeah.
starts with who do you
Yeah.
know? You make a list of 10 people, their name, their phone number, their name, you're hitting them on Messenger. Do you understand?
Right.
Laura, what is that? That looks very interesting to me.
Well, so the people that just never responded has a total line through their name that just knows that I had zero response with them. The highlighted ones were people that I sent their addresses on there too, that I sent samples to. And then when I converted them, I write like the pack they bought and I circle it, what pack they got. So I know my percentage of conversions.
Oh, wow. So you have the ones that aren't interested get blacked out, but there are very few. And she probably puts them on the 6 months later.
Yep.
And
Yep.
then the pink are, she sent something, a podcast link,
yeah.
a gift, something went to him. What's the
Right.
orange? What's
Right.
the orange?
The orange is that I talked to them, but they didn't want me to send them anything.
Got it.
Yeah. So y'all, this is very chaotic organization. It's
It-
just,
it-
I
it
have
looks
no,
like a-
I have
it looks
notebooks.
it looks like a network marketer's book.
Yeah, I mean, it's
every
just-
successful network marketer's list looks like that.
It's just like, it's just crazy. I mean, but the minute people start talking to me, there's Peter's, I'm taking notes. When I say, what's going on with you? You know, and I just write it down, right? So I don't know. I think we have an incredible platform here to change the world, and that's what we're all doing. And you don't have to know anything to do that because we have each other.
Wow. Laura, what I see with her list is this woman is doing the work. You can talk about the work and you can be a podcast goer or you start doing the work, which is listing, patching 3 a day, following up with 3 a day, inviting 3 to the podcast. That's doing the work. And we do have a lot of podcast plugins right now. I will tell you, pick 2 of your favorite trainings and go to the testimonial podcast at the evening. Okay. The reason we have so many trainings is not that you have to go to all of them. It's that you can plug people into what works in their schedule. The podcasts are to be of service for you. It's not an expectation for you to be on all of them. So pick 2 trainings you like a week and go to the nightly podcast. That's the secret sauce. Laura, is there anything else that you would like to add before we bring Bob on?
Let me see here. Oh, here's a good tip. And this is something that in network marketing, in the very beginning, just go ahead and get it out of your system. And if you're throwing up all over people, just get it done. Like just get it all out. But some of the other big advice would be, do not answer questions that are not being asked of you. If they haven't asked the question, don't give them that information, because people will turn into a deer in headlights. If you just plummet them with oh my God, I've got this X39 stem cell activation patch, and once you wear it, and it's like the sun, and you put it on your skin, and they're like, what? They're out, man. They're out. You've lost them. And that's okay, because you know what? They were brought into your life so you could learn that. Don't beat yourself up over it. It's okay. We've all done it. But I would just say, kind of keep the little rule in your head. Don't answer a question that has not been asked. That's not what they're interested in. They're only going to ask you what they're interested in, and then you can bring that value to them. You can lead them in the direction that they need to go. And again, they're being heard. And when people are being heard, y'all know how you feel when somebody listens to you and doesn't interrupt you.
I'll tell you, Laura, my big 3 lessons from you, tell me if I've gotten it, is
Okay.
do not answer questions before they're asked of you. The power of suggestion, direct them. They need to be directed, and bring value, which is don't throw up on them, but listen to them. Would that be your basic 3 concepts?
Yeah, absolutely. If I were to wrap that all up, absolutely.
Great.
Yep.
Well, I just highlighted them. Thank you. I now am Laura Bowser. Are we all Laura Bowser now? Did we all get it? Okay, so Laura, thank you so much for
Thank
sharing.
you.
We will definitely have you on in the next month to teach us how to do this voice memo thing. I think that would be really fun to learn, and we appreciate your time today.
Thank you. I loved it. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Bob Campbell, unmute yourself. Bob Campbell is a senior presidential director from Florida. He is the other half of Amy Holmesy. And you know, Bob is so good with scripting what we say. And now he's going to give us a 15-minute training as well. Bob, thanks so much for coming today.
Well, thank you. I always appreciate you and Peter. I mean, no better leaders I've ever seen in 35 years. So, and thank you, Laura. I got my notes from Laura. So now it's very interesting, and I want to recommend that you all go back and catch last Saturday's training that Amy and Dr. Stacy did too. So it's very important. What the hell is voice clipping? No, I don't care. So I'll learn that next week. But that threw me off right from the get-go. Like, voice clipping, what? So anyway, guys, here's all I do. I just use the little few choice words, which is our script. And then I say, the last part of the script is, I'm going to send you some, I ask, what do you know about stem cells? Have you heard about the latest technology in stem cell activation? They all say no. And then I say to them this. I give them a command. I say, I'm going to send you some information. If you like what you see, I'll show you how to get it wholesale. And then I send them start X39.
There's so many new people. Can you just say all of that slower for us real quick? Because I want to hear that again.
Yes, I can. Sure. Okay. So I'm trying to think of a way I could probably text the leaders, any of the leaders that have anybody on their team, and I can text it to them as well. So, but here's what happens. So when I'm talking to someone, I say what Marci says all the time is I call them up and say, hey, what's going on with you? I used to say, how are you doing? But they can be on their deathbed and we're so conditioned to answer how you doing. Like, I'm okay. They might be choking the words out. I'm okay. And you know, they're not. So you say, hey, what's going on with you? So that's the first sentence. What's going on with you? And then, as Laura said, let them talk. Okay. Then I say, well, I got to tell you, I got to share something with you. I finally found something to help me with. I finally found something to help me with. And then I go through my litany of issues. So you're going to go through your litany of issues. And as Laura said, listen to what they have to say, because when they mention something about whatever their health issue is, you could say just what she said, same thing I say. You know, I can't tell you what it'll do for you, but we just had a podcast where a lady had the exact same issues as you and got great results with the patch. I can't tell you what it'll do for you, but we just had a podcast where a lady had the same issue, or a man had the same issue as you and got great results on the patch. So that's if somebody asked me that question. But the script again is I finally found. You cannot say I found. You must say I finally found. I'm not going to get into why that is. We don't have a lot of time. But psychologically, it's much more impressive and touches them, their subconscious, by saying I finally found something to help me with. The next statement is, when they ask you a question, they'll generally ask you what you found. And even if they don't, you're going to say what Peter always says, what do you know about stem cells? So the second thing you say is, what do you know about stem cells? Let them answer you. As Laura said, don't interrupt, let them answer you. And it does not matter what the answer is. Once they're done, the next question you ask is, have you heard about the latest technology? in stem cell activation. Have you heard about the latest technology? Annie D. Coker added the word technology to what I wrote, because when people hear the words latest technology, it always means it's better, because the latest technology helped astronauts do this. So have you heard about the latest technology in stem cell activation? They will all say no, including your doctor. And then you say, and by the way, guys, here's the last statement again. I'm going to send you some information. If you like what you see, I'll show you how to get it wholesale, or I'll help you to get it wholesale, whichever way you want to say. The reason you say that, I'll help you to get it wholesale, it stops them from going on the internet to try to find it. Because you just said the magic word, I'm going to get it for you wholesale. So they don't think about looking for it anyplace else. So all these words are very valuable. They control the subconscious mind of the person you're speaking to, so that we can help them get better. Because our goal is to get them healthy like we are. So then when they do that, when you send the information, I say this, I say, would you like me to call you? If they say, oh, by the way, as Laura said again, if they start asking you questions, do not answer them. After you've said that, those first 4 lines, do not answer any questions. What you say to them is this. You say, I'll tell you what, after you look at the information, it'll probably answer most of your questions. Then just write down, you're just going to have to memorize this, because it'll take too long to go through it. But all you say is, once you look at that information, it'll probably answer most of your questions. But if it doesn't, write down any questions you have, and we'll go over it. It'll save us a lot of time. It'll save us a lot. And everybody wants to save time. So it'll save us a lot of time. So then I say, do you want me to call you back tonight or tomorrow night? I give them 2 choices always. You want me to call you back tonight or tomorrow night so we can discuss it? Tonight or tomorrow night. They will choose one. If they say tomorrow night, you give them 2 choices. Do you want me to call you at 6 p.m. or 8 p.m.? And you pick the times that are better for you. You can say, would you rather me call you in the afternoon or the evening? But then it has to boil down to, do you want me to call you at 3 p.m. or 7 p.m.? Always give 2 choices, because we're conditioned from grade school that when we are asked a question that has choices, we must choose one. And they will still do that. They will always do that. Okay. Then you call them back. Now, before you call them back at that set time, what we tell all of our team, Amy and I, is we say, give us a call before you call them back to let us know that we can be available for you on a 3-way call. So when you call the person and you ask them, and here's the question, you do want to write this down. When you call them back on the follow-up, you say, what did you like best? What did you like best about what you saw? What did you like best about what you saw? The reason you do that is this. If they haven't watched it, you put them on the spot, because they're going to go, oh, I didn't get a chance to watch it. Now you're done. You don't have to spend minutes or hours talking to them. You say, okay, let's talk. When are you going to watch it? And then be quiet, because now the pressure is on them. Or if they do answer what they liked best, and then they may say, I like the fact that it's no chemicals involved and it gets you healthy. Or I like the fact that it takes away the pain. Whatever it is they answer you, that's what you close them on. And Marci, you had asked me, what do I say when I close them? But that's what you close them on, whatever they mention. So here's the closing line that I use that I found. I just started using this recently, but I've found that this works phenomenally well. The question you ask them is, does it make sense to you and you can use whatever that answer was about what their issue, what their health issue is. So let's say they don't like growing old. So does it make sense to make your skin younger and glowing instead of growing wrinkles so deep you could lose food in them? You know, so I always say goofy stuff like that, but it makes the point. Okay. Does it make sense to make your skin younger and glowing instead of growing wrinkles? Does it make sense to take care of our bodies to live longer and happier instead of suffering the way we have been? Does it make sense to take care of our bodies to live longer and happier? See, when you say, does it make sense to, people are thinking in their subconscious, yeah, that does make sense. They're going to give you a positive reaction. And so now here's the last thing you say. I just thought of this morning. And that is, well, now you have that option. Do you want to take it or do you want to pass it up? So now you have that option. Do you want to take it or pass it up? And that's how I close them. And then you can get their information. You can explain to them by taking them to your website and clicking on join, and you can let them look at your packages. Amy DeCoker has a great close. She says, well, let me give you your options. Hit join. They hit join and it shows them their options. And you'd be surprised what people will choose when you think they don't have any money. You think they don't have any money and they're going to go, well, I like this diamond package because it drops the price down to $84. That's what I did because I'm all about saving money. But I like Dr. Stacy. She goes, everybody's a silver. So don't try to upsell them at all. Let them do the silver. And then when they want to order more stuff and they get more familiar with what we're doing, then you can show them, well, let's go back and look at those packages. It's actually less expensive and a better value to do that. Okay. So that's all I do, guys. And also I want to share this with you. You know how we get those spam calls? I started taking them if they have to do with insurance. And the reason I'll say, yeah, have so-and-so call me. And so the agent will call me. And when they call me, I say, they'll start asking me stuff. And I'll go, yeah, I used to be in terrible shape. I used to have terrible health issues. But I finally found something that is, and I tell my story. And they'll go, wow. And I'll go, yeah, what do you know about stem cells? I go right into the script with them. So this happened to me yesterday. I got a call from an insurance agent. They're signing up Monday. I got them on the podcast Friday. See, and here's what I also know about insurance agents, whoever is selling you something, they don't make much money as a whole. They generally don't make much money. So I know, and I'll say to them, yeah, I actually have made this a side business, a part-time side business. And they'll go, oh, you can make money with this? And I go, yeah, how much? And then I ask them, I don't tell them what I make. I ask them, like Laura says, how much money would you like to make part-time? And I let them talk and tell me. And I say, oh, that's very doable. Let me help you do that. See, you always listen. Peter, Marci, Laura, Amy, Dr. Stacy, all the senior presidentials and presidentials, let them talk. And you must listen. Amy always says, 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. Okay. Make it fun. And Laura said this in the beginning, we're not selling anybody anything. And I do want to say this now, Marci, I know you know this about me. I've never given a patch out in my entire life in history here. Okay. The reason I don't is this. Amy and I were both given 5 patches when we started. We got 0 results. 0. Therefore, in our mind, it doesn't work. Luckily, the person who gave us the 5, we have great respect for. And we called and we told her we didn't get any results. And she goes, that's okay. Sometimes it takes longer. And Annie DeCoker has a great line for this. Annie says, when people ask you, am I going to get results? And we say, well, we don't know what it'll do for you, but we did hear on a podcast the other day, someone had your exact issue and got great results. Typically, we find half the people seem to get results of some sort within the first 3 to 6 weeks. But the other half, it takes 3 to 6 months. My friend Bob Campbell, it took 7 months for him to get pain relief. But is he thankful he didn't quit at the 6th month, because he'd been in pain for 40 years every day. And that's true. It was actually 50 years. I just calculated it. 1973, when I started to have pain, and I've had it for 50 years every day of my life. But I'm happy to say, after that 7th month on X39, I have never had 1 second of pain, not 1 minute of pain in the last 2 years plus. Not one. I can't get over this, guys. I can't get over it. But it took 7 months. So that's why I don't give out. Amy and I do not give out any, because our gift to them is, let me show you how to get it wholesale. That is our gift. So, but I'm not saying it doesn't work, because obviously Marci and Peter made it work. Laura makes it work. All these other people make it work. Well, we made it work without. And by the way, also, when we started, I was $35,000 in debt. And I had been for 10 years. So I didn't have the money really to give patches out. So that's the other reason. So that's why I said, well, my gift to you. Yes.
And I think it's so important that people understand, that's why the system is so good. 333 ask, share, give allow us to all dance in the system how it's comfortable. So a give can be, let me show you how to give it wholesale. That's Bob's give. Laura's give is, I'm going to send you a 5-day gift for your birthday. And Peter's give is, let me send you a link to the podcast. The give is flexible, because we want you guys to be able to dance in what way is comfortable. And sometimes the give may change based on what you're listening to, right? Bob, are you back?
Absolutely.
So, anyway, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I just wanted people to know that the system allows for you, it allows for Laura to use it in the way she wants to. It allows for Bob to use it in the way he wants to, and Peter to use it the way he wants to. They're all giving a little different give. It's all good. Go ahead.
Yeah, it is. It is. So also, if I may, Amy said this to me, and I apologize for repeating myself, but Amy said this to me because after the 7th or 10th, between the 7th and the 10th day, we did get results. Okay. My energy level doubled, and Amy, who has fibromyalgia, her pain was cut nearly in half. And Amy said to me, she goes, Bob, if we don't share this with people, it's criminal. As Dr. Stacy, Amy, Laura, you all always say, we never tell them about any kind of income. We just are concerned with not selling, but sharing. Amy and I go out every day feeling it's our obligation to share this with others, to share the information. Marci and Peter put together this amazing program. If you'll just follow it, and if you'll use what Annie DeCoker says are the few choice words, it's a script, but it's not really a script to make anybody do anything. It's a few choice words to make their subconscious be receptive to accepting the information that will change their life forever.
So here's the thing.
That's all we're doing.
I can't wait to put your script in a voice memo.
Yeah, Laura, I can't wait to get on Laura's training because at 100 years old, I still have a lot to learn.
Bob,
So,
do you have any last point before I move it to Peter to close? Obviously, we're not doing compensation plan and back office today. It's been an hour, but this training is so valuable. We really want you guys to understand the work. What Bob and Laura told you today is how they go to work. Bob, any last piece before I pass it to Peter?
the last thing I want to say is this. I don't let anybody get away from me. I believe they all should be helped. So if I see someone and I'm out and I see them struggling to get in and out of their car, I see them in a grocery store struggling to reach something on a shelf, I see them hunched over, I see arthritic hands, I just walk up to them and say, hey, can I help you with anything? Because I used to be in your situation. I can see you're struggling. And I
That's
used to
good.
struggle. For my last, I said, I've struggled for 10 years, but I finally found something that helped me.
Can you say that one more time very slowly? I'm trying to write that down. It's so good.
I don't even remember what I said.
So you're in
I
a
go-
store and you see somebody struggling. They
Yeah,
can't, you can see they're hunched over with lower back pain. What do you say?
Yeah. So I walk over to them and I say, and I would do this anyway, if I wasn't in this business, but I would say, I walk over and say, hey, may I help you with anything? I see you're struggling a little bit. The reason I ask you is because I used to have to struggle myself. And I finally found something that has made me healthy again. I used to struggle myself. Or see, you don't need to say, you can still walk over to say that to someone, but you can use, if you hadn't struggled like that, you just say, you can just say Bob Campbell. You say, I had a friend, Bob, who used to struggle like that too, but we finally found something that gave us our health back.
Bob, we can use you for every struggle.
Yes, absolutely. I've had everything, guys. Cancer, prostate issues, energy, sleepless nights, mental brain fog. I've had everything. So you all, and by the way, I feel better than I've felt in 40 years. I wake up with energy every day. I wake up with a clear mind, not a brilliant mind, just a clear mind. It has done nothing to help me get smarter. So, and Savvy and Dr. Harmon will verify that in our conversations. They kind of shake their heads when they talk to me, but it's the most amazing thing. Laura, go ahead.
Laura,
just-
go ahead.
I just real quick, I know we have to go. Bob, you made me think of something when you asked the question, have you ever heard of stem cells? Are you familiar with stem cells? And I love that you said, it doesn't matter whether they say yes or no.
Correct.
So if it's okay with you, Marci and Peter, I'm going to put a script that I use because it's a perfect way, whether they say yes or whether they say no, I can send this back to them. This is not a voice clip. It is an actual text or message that I send to them.
Say it. I want to hear
Is
it.
that okay?
Please, we want that. We want it on recording. Thank you.
Okay. All right, so if everybody wants to go in there and just copy and paste that and grab it and put it in your notes section, you can do that from this point right here. You just have to outline it, Command C, and then you can go drop it wherever you want to drop it on your phone.
So say it, read it.
So this is not actually putting stem cells in the body. The tech is called photobiomodulation. It's a non-transdermal patch that signals the body to produce more of its own pluripotent stem cells. My husband and I have been using that one daily, and a different patch that signals the liver to produce a peptide that reduces inflammation systemically. Have you heard of this tech before? So the key is always leave with a question, like Peter said, a call to action. Because again, that's opened my door up to keep that conversation going. They're like, I don't even know what you're talking about.
And you know what?
Let me send you a video.
Laura, and people, if you have a hard time copying it, what I do is I take my phone and I just take a picture of it.
Oh yeah, take a picture of it.
Of what
Absolutely.
I want. I have found that works so good.
Yeah.
And if you don't get the whole thing, then scroll it to take the second picture. I have one question for you, Laura. When do you say this to people?
If I ask them, are you familiar with stem cells?
And let's say I say no.
I send them that.
And let's say I say yes.
I send them that.
And you don't say it to them. You just say, I'll send you something on it. Is
Yeah,
that
no,
right?
I just send it. Like they answer me, I just text that. I just copy and paste it. It's in my notes section and I say that.
And so you do that when you're voice memoing. Have you heard about stem cells? And if they
Yeah.
say no, you send this. If they say yes, you send this. And do you send that as a text or do you voice memo that too?
That I always send as a text. I always copy and paste it out of my notes section and I send it to them.
So my suggestion, here's the other thing that's really good. And I'm going to put in the notes as Peter closes my favorite links I've been using lately. They're good. And what you want to do, you guys, is save them to the notes of your phone. Save what Laura just gave you to the notes of your phone so you can use it back all the time. People ask me all the time about oh gosh, well, a lot of people have been asking me about fast growing cells lately. So many, like 3 times a day, I finally wrote a little thing on it and put it in the notes of my phone. So I could just edit, copy, edit, paste, and it makes you move fast, okay? So use your notes so you don't have to redo the work over and over and over again. So Laura, thank you. Bob, thank you. I'm going to go pull that and put it in my notes right now. If you guys are on your computer and you don't know how to edit, copy, edit, paste that, email it to yourself, and then pull it up on your email on your phone and edit, copy it with your finger and save it to the notes of your phone. And do the same with all the links I'm going to send you. Trust me, I have put my favorite links that I've been using every day lately, and they're good. So Peter, let's go ahead and close. You finish closing and I'll do those links. Thank you so much.
I want to say I'm going to interrupt just a second. I apologize.
Yes,
I want to say
please,
one
yes.
last thing.
Please.
One last thing, guys. If any of you on this podcast have been on other network marketing companies and you're afraid to contact the person who's making a lot of money or the big hitter, quote unquote, don't be. We all have transform people who are big hitters in other companies here because they got to work in those other companies. I mean, it's a 40 to 60 hour work week. They won't tell you that, but I don't want to tell you how many hours I put in a week because it's not that many. It's like crazy. Because you're going to go, how did you get to be SPD when that's all the hours you work? And my work is just sharing. That's all my work is. It's a heart thing. So just share, treat everybody the way you want to be treated. Be smart. Let the information tell your friend or family member, don't you do it. Let's start X39 now, do it. And when they go to start X39 now they think they figured it all out. Not you, they did. So now they're even more receptive. Because you didn't tell them, start X39 now, that they were clever enough to watch, taught them everything. And now they can go do this. That's it. Thank you. Sorry.
And Peter,
Bob.
I want to say that one more time. The one thing about professional network marketers, after COVID, belly to belly network marketing businesses slowed down dramatically. They did not pivot in COVID. And Peter was so smart 3 years ago during COVID, he made us pivot to Zoom. Our system is more advanced, our Now site's more advanced, the Biz site's more advanced, and because of the Patching podcast, we have 3 years of testimonials. We have educated people how to use Zoom. Don't be afraid to go to other big network marketing companies and say, we pivoted to Zoom on COVID. We get 300 people in testimonial calls a night because the product works. And it's a wearable technology that is experiential. right? Demonstrative. Just get the patch on people's bodies. You will recruit other network marketing companies because they are having trouble right now. They just are. Peter, I'm sorry. Now back to you.
Well, I just want to say this gym time today has been incredible. Did everybody learn something today? Or two, or three, or four? So we're going to say you had a rough workout this morning, okay, everyone? Make sure you take some time out this weekend, absorb this information, and just know this gym is now over 3 years old. We have so many bodybuilders. All we're doing for each one of you, especially the brand new partners here with us, enjoy the process, enjoy the gym, enjoy learning, meeting all our gym members, and just know this is just to help you become a better you, okay? We're not ever gonna convince you, force you, push you to do something that none of us have ever not done. Every one of our bodybuilders have built this from the ground up. And what we have done is just put together this beautiful community, this beautiful system that each one of us can build your own muscles. And from this point on, again, 2023 is going to be the biggest year, not only for our organization, but for the entire company as a whole. We'll see you all later. Enjoy your weekend.
And Peter, may I
Absorb
say
this.
one thing? I did put my favorite links in chat. Take them, edit, copy, edit, paste them to your email and then to the notes of the phone. Trust me when I say you'll use those links all the time. They're some of my favorites. I've been using them to close. I closed 4 packs yesterday with those links, some of those. Okay, they're good. I'm sorry, go ahead.
It's done, everyone. I don't want to take any more time. It's a beautiful day today. We love you all. See you Monday. Same time, same bat channel. Enjoy your weekend, everybody. Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Oh, and
Great
no
training
no
today.
Saturday
Thank you.
training tomorrow. Next Saturday.
No next Saturday training, everyone. We will be in Florida, okay, everybody? So enjoy your next Saturday and get ready for your February. Everybody, goodbye. We're gonna
Knock
stop
'em
this
down.
recording.